Hi, my name is Ethan. I'm the Public Relations Director for Crew Emergency Medical Service. We are a free campus resource that provides free medical aid as well as transport and confidential help as well. Today, I want to take you through one of our ambulances, our vehicle 549. It is our 911 service, so anytime you call the emergency number, 216-368-3333, we will respond with 549. So I'll take you through the passenger side and then we'll go around the ambulance. So this is usually where the passenger will sit. Usually we'll run one of our crew members on that side and they will be the one that is leading the call. They'll help with the driver to navigate directions as well as parking and be one of the first people on scene that you see. In this compartment here, we have a vacuum splint as well as a vacuum mattress. The vacuum splint is really for any broken ankles, any broken bones that we can stabilize, and we'll use that to stabilize. And then vacuum mattress, this is for ultimate spinal immobilization. So if you've fallen, if you've hit your head, stuff like that, we might use that to basically just keep you from moving and to protect your spine and to basically protect your movements as well. Down here, we have our MCI bag. This is for mass casualty incidents. We really don't use that as much, and we really hope we don't use that as much, but this bag is in case of anything that is, a lot of people get hurt, a lot of people are injured. We'll use this bag to help rescue people as well as communicate to others what's going on as well. Since we are in Cleveland, we do have a lot of snow, we do see a lot of ice, so we will use our scrapers as well as salt and shovel in the back in case we do get stuck in the snow. So now we're on the driver's side of the ambulance. So this is where our driver will sit while we're responding to a call. If you want to take a look inside, that is our driver compartment. You can see kind of on the panel there, that is where our lights are going to be. So we can run lights and sirens to any emergency call that we deem that we need to run. In addition, we also have a radio inside of there that helps us communicate with dispatch. So we have one button. We have actually a couple buttons that control our lights. So clicking that on will start flashing the lights up top for us as well. We also have our siren here. We can run lights and sirens, as I said earlier, but we only use that in case of really extreme emergencies. On the driver's side compartment, we also have our mainline oxygen tank. This supplies oxygen to the whole entirety of the vehicle. Any ports inside that needs oxygen will run that. We also have supplemental oxygen that we carry in smaller tanks, but you'll see that later on in the video. In here, we have our stair chair. So the stair chair is basically kind of a wheelchair and it's used to navigate stairs as well. So some of the dorms have really small elevators that we can't fit our cot in to get to the patient. So we'll use the stair chair to help extract them as well. In addition, if we're going down a flight of stairs, we'll put patients into the stair chair and it allows us to slope down the stairs, and it's a lot more safer to carry a patient down that way. So in here, we have more spinal immobilization stuff. We have our Reeves and we have our spinal board. The spinal board kind of acts at the same purpose as a Reeves. The Reeves is just more kind of malleable and allows more flexibility in terms of reevesing someone. This is all spinal mobilization, so it basically protects your spine from further damage and to kind of prevent you from being paralyzed as well. So we'll use that in terms of that stuff. We also have padded boards. These are for any long leg fractures, anything that's dealing with broken bones in the legs. We'll probably put that to just support it as well as to kind of wrap it around and just to stabilize it as well. And then moving on, we'll go ahead and jump into the back of our ambulance to give a tour of that. So now we'll head into the inside of our ambulance, but before we do that, we are blessed by the university, and it also saves our back, but we have something called a power cot. This basically lowers and raises a cot manually so we don't have to break our backs doing it. So on our cot, for most calls that we go to, we'll carry something that we call suction. Suction is really for if you're bleeding, if there's secretions, if you're choking on something, we'll use this to basically suck it out. We also carry our clipboard. This has everything in terms of paperwork, in terms of charting, and our laptop. That's all in there, and that just keeps us in check and make sure that we're doing everything that we have. In here, we have our jump bag. This carries all of our medications, all of the things that you're going to see inside a truck. It's basically condensed into one bag. We carry this bag on every call. It contains everything that we need, and it's kind of vital to our day-to-day success. Now coming into the ambulance, we have a variety of cabinets up here. So in this cabinet here, this is our O2 cabinet. This is for anything related to oxygen. So if a patient's not breathing well, we can put in a tube for that. If a patient just isn't getting enough oxygen, we can also put in something for that as well. There's extra suction canisters and extra manual suction. Down here is our PPE cabinet. So in our PPE cabinet, you can find gloves, masks, face shield, goggles. This is just to protect us from any foreign bodily substance that we come in contact with. And we also have disinfecting wipes that just make sure everything's clean for the next patient. In here, we have our vitals cabinet. In our vitals cabinet, we have our BP cuffs, SpO2, stethoscope, stuff like that. We also have some other miscellaneous objects. So we have our obstetrics kit, restraints, emesis bag, trash bag, stuff like that. But this is a very common cabinet we reach for any vitals related issues. Down here, this is our trauma cabinet. So this basically is used to treat any broken bones, any bleeding, any stabs, injuries, stuff like that. Any injury at all, we'll use that cabinet to treat. As we kind of move back into the ambulance, we have some more medical equipment up here. This is where the captain's chair is. So we have a crew member stationed here most of the time treating the patient's head, making sure they're breathing, making sure their airway is patent, stuff like that. And they have access to a panel here. So this panel will control the lights as well as heating and cooling of the back of our ambulance. We have oxygen, and we also have suction inside the ambulance as well. On every call we do go on, we also carry something called LifePak. So this LifePak is basically a mini computer that stores information, stores vitals, is an AED, and allows us to basically operate with this tiny computer on every call. So it can really perform anything and everything we need for medical calls. It has a BP cuff as well as SpO2 in here, and then it has the AED defibrillator pads on this side. This is pretty heavy, so we do try and carry on a stretcher, but if need be, we do take it off and run with it. On the seat you're sitting on now, inside here is going to be our additional ortho stuff. So in here we have some stuff like seat collars, more headboards, stuff like that. This is generally kind of general overview of ortho stuff in here. To the side of here, we have our traction splint. So that's for mid femur fractures. And then we also have a KED in here as well. And since we do sometimes respond to MVAs or injuries on the road, we do carry cones as well as flares in order to just protect us and to make us more visible during the night. There is a throughway towards the cockpit of the ambulance that just allows us to communicate with the crew and to update them on any situations that's happening in the back of the ambulance, as well as to just tell them directions as well. But yeah, that is the back of our ambulance and basically the whole entire DF549. I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about what we do as well as the equipment we use, and hopefully if you see us around or need us, we'll be there. Thank you.